fourth grade parents. This is Miss Catlett reporting live from Trevette Elementary School, and this is our first Math Live YouTube lesson. Today I will be covering comparing, ordering, and rounding decimals, and I'm going to be providing some strategies for you to use when you are reviewing with your students. Now, we will do these periodically throughout the year in hopes that, you know, if you are having some troubles, this will clear it up, and then you will be able to help make your child successful at home. Because in the end, that's what we want. We want your child to be super successful and really excel in math. At the end of this video, I will also provide a couple of multiplication fact strategies because we also want to start doing that. And that will be an ongoing thing. So we will start with just the easy facts, and then next YouTube video, we'll add some more in there. So here we go. I'm going to turn my screen around and we're going to start with comparing and ordering decimals. So as you can see, we have been doing this in class. Now, I have provided for you a McDonald's menu simply because this is a great opportunity for you when you are just out, whether it's at McDonald's or a different restaurant, to have your child pick out some menus, some menu options, and then they can order it. Or before you order, you can have your child kind of give you an estimate of how much you think it's going to be. So for example, a double cheeseburger may be about $1. A Big Mac value meal may be about $5. A chicken McNugget meal about $4. And then have your child add that total and give you an estimate. This will certainly help strengthen not only their estimation skills, but just some simple math addition skills as well. You could also have them, while you're waiting for your food, order the values from least to greatest. So what's the least expensive thing on the menu to, the most expensive thing on the menu, and that will also help them to get a better sense of that decimal recognition and understanding what numbers are bigger and what numbers are smaller. Okay, so we're going to keep moving. This is just another menu, just showing you how once they order it from least to greatest, how it would end up. So, that's just a fun way to practice those math skills. When you're not at home, you're kind of out, and you can still definitely integrate that math while you are eating dinner. Okay, it is very important, parents, that we know our place value. Okay, this from here to here would be our whole number place value. From here to here would be our decimal place value. And fourth grade students are only responsible knowing decimals up to the thousandths place, which is 3 places past the decimal. And the decimal point would fall right here. And students do need to know to the left of the decimal are whole numbers, to the right of the decimal are the decimal points. We have been working a lot on making sure we know these signs. So what we have taught is that if you take an L and put it in front of your face using your left hand, L for left, like so, and then turn it on its side, that would be a less than sign. Greater than always eats the bigger number, so we think of this as an alligator mouth, and it is eating the bigger number. And then we have our equal to sign. And new this year, we did add a not equal sign, which is this equal sign with the line through the middle. So the boys and girls did catch on to that very quickly. Okay, so here is a problem of a decimal problem that the students would, see on a test. And so it kind of walks you through how we have been teaching them. And so what they would need to do, it says to compare Sarah's score with Danny's score. So what we're asking students to do is to make sure they line up the decimal points. And this is very important, that we're not lining up the numbers, however, we're lining up the decimal points. If we need placeholders, for example, if there was 2 numbers here and only 1 number here, we would add a 0. And then we always start from the left and compare 1 number at a time, which will then certainly help us identify who has the bigger score. So we can see 4 and 4 is the same, 2 and 2 is the same, however, 1 is less than 5. So another strategy we have provided is to try and do that on a number line. So same concept. Instead of lining up decimals, they would actually draw a number line and plot all of the points that are provided, like you see, and then they can compare that way. And this is just a good visual representation to show that indeed Sarah's score of 42.1 is definitely less than Danny's score of 42 5/10. So they can use, points like this, or we can do it how we just saw it. So number line is a great strategy. We have also taught to them using 10 by 10 grids. And we have worked a lot with this and identifying tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and wholes using a 10 by 10 grid. So the students know 1 cube represents a hundredth, and 1 row of the 10 by 10 grid represents a tenth. And so we have been practicing using those grids to graph, which you can find printable grids anywhere online if you type in 10 by 10 printable grid. And if you need to, provide or print off those at home, or if you need your child's 4th grade teacher to send some extra ones home to practice, that is fine as well. But this is another very helpful strategy that we would use. So this is comparing 60 hundredths to 6 tenths. And so the students like to relate the 60 hundredths. They know that there are 10 hundredths in 1 row, or that is also equal to a tenth. And so they can count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, getting them to 60 hundredths. And then they will figure out that that is equal. Moving on to ordering, it's very, very much the same concept. We first introduced lining up the decimals, and we need to make sure our decimals are in line in case our numbers do not match up. And we don't want to look at numbers, we want to look at the decimals. So in this particular problem, you will see that we do actually have to add zeros as placeholders, which then gives us the same amount of numbers. And that is why it is so important to not look at the numbers, but to only look at the decimals and making sure the decimals are lined up. So once the decimals are lined up, starting from the left, they compare 1 number at a time. We are ordering from least to greatest. So 1, 1, 1, and 1 is all the same. We have 5, 4, 5, 5. Right then, we know that 4 is our smallest number, so this would be the first number in our list. And then we continue on to order the remaining decimals. So that is how we have been working on ordering decimals. We, like I said, use the 10 by 10 grid that line up your decimals strategy, and we also used a pizza type example, and these are the strategies that we have been using to teach decimals. So I hope that was helpful for you. I am going to very quickly move into some multiplication fact strategies, and I'm just going to do 2s and 5s. We're going to start easy, and then hopefully you can help your students perfect the 2s and 5s. So I'm going to flip the screen back around, and we are going to, we're we're going to move into just the 2's and 5's. So when we are talking about 2's multiplication facts, what we want to make sure that we are focusing on is the doubling aspect. Okay, anytime we times 2, we are basically doubling that number that is before. So if we can really have the students understand that concept of doubling, it will 100% help them with their 2's. So 2 doubled is 4, doubled is 8, doubled is 16. Okay, and then knowing 2 times 8, which is 2 doubled 4 times, is 16. So it's really getting that concept of doubling down to help with the 2's. And then our 5's, a lot of times we want to resort to skip counting, okay? But it is really understanding that that 5 is the factor, and we're alternating. You know, when we add the 5 each time, we're alternating between the 5 and the 0. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and it's really seeing that pattern to understand those facts. So we hope that we can master the 2's and 5's by the next YouTube video. Hopefully this decimal video will be beneficial to you. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to your child's 4th grade teacher. Thank you for your time, and we will see you later.